Okay.
We stand as one, the North Bank roars, echoes pulsing through Highbury scores, steel and fire, hearts in the fight, born to...
If Arsenal lose this derby, it's not just 3 points, it's bragging rights, momentum, and a psychological damage. I'm not ready for Spurs fans on Monday morning. Let's talk about it. Smash the like, subscribe, and if you hate losing to Spurs, drop your score predictions in the chat now. What's going on, people? Welcome back to In the North Bank. If you're new here, this is the home for real Arsenal fans. Real reactions and zero PR answers. Smash the like, subscribe if you're tired of fake positivity, and drop your score predictions in the chat right now because we're about to get into it. So before we go any further, guys, I've got to introduce my co-hosts. On the top line with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, knows all his numbers and everything else. Statman Rich, how you doing, mate?
Brilliant, mate. And yourself?
Yeah, not bad. And down the bottom, who's put himself on mute, so if he could take himself off mute, that would be brilliant, is the man walking his dog, Brian. How you doing, mate?
Hey, what's up, guys? You know, doing my multitasking thing again. Haven't done that in a little bit, so I figured I'd try and at least be a little bit productive and try and spout off some BS about football.
Well, but you're in the right place, mate. Right, let's get on with this. Let's crack on with this because this is obviously a review for the Spurs Arsenal North London derby tomorrow. It's a must-win, or is it a manageable loss? Does this define our season, Richard?
I think it does because of where we are. We'll know what City have done against Newcastle, and we could have a chance to go 8 points clear or 5 points clear. At the end of our match, I think it could define our season.
Do you agree, Brian? Does it define the season?
I mean, yeah, yes and no. Yes and no. And I know that kind of sounds like a cop-out. I will say that, this whole idea of one game defining a season, like, I don't like that because there are 38 games to a season. And so, your entire performance is really what matters. With that being said, because we have had, the lead that we have over the season, and the gap keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. If this is one of those things where we drop points here, then I think it could be indicative of what the season was as a whole, but I don't think this game specifically defines our season.
Okay, that's cool. I get where you're coming from. You've got to remember as well, we've just dropped 4 points against two teams, Brentford and Wolves, who we shouldn't have dropped points against. You know what I mean? So that leads me to my next question. Is this a statement game? Brian, is it a statement game?
I mean, it's a North London derby, and so it always is to a certain extent, but also with, with Spurs being trash right now, we need to pound them. We do need to pound them.
Okay. Is it a statement game? Obviously, it is like Brian said, it is the North London derby, Rich, but is it a statement game for you?
Yeah, I mean, A, for the bragging rights, B, because at this current point in time, our form has dipped a bit. Now people will say we're choking and we're feeling the pressure, and that might be the case, or it could be that the season's on and we've just it hits hits peaks and troughs all the way through, and at the moment we're in the trough. So to come to your local rivals, even if they're trash, and put in a big performance, says to City, we're not bottling this. We've had a bad moment. We're through that. Now over to you.
I get you, mate. I get you. So I'm going to make this it is one question, but I'm going to give it two sort of like connotations, I suppose is the word. Is a draw acceptable away, Rich? But also, is this going to be like the kick up the arse that the Arsenal need to maybe get their season back on track, if you know what I mean?
Yeah. Usually, I would say a draw away from home is an acceptable result, depending on the team you're facing. However, considering what's gone before and where we are in the season, and we're going for a title, I don't think a draw away at Spurs is acceptable tomorrow.
I would agree with you, Brian. Same question to you, mate. Is it acceptable for a draw tomorrow, and is it the kick up the arse that Arsenal need maybe to get their season back on track?
I think it's really going to depend on the City result today, or whenever they're playing us, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think it is today. I think it's Newcastle today, isn't it?
But no matter what the situation is, between us and Spurs, they always try and play hard. I mean, Eza had the first hat trick in the North London Derby in 50 years, something like that, back earlier in the season. So, again, I don't want to define the season by one game. So going in there and getting a point, as long as City drop points, then I personally would be okay with the draw. If City does get all 3 points, then we need to get all 3 points.
For me, I think it's a win. It has to be a win to maintain, hopefully, 8 points lead if Newcastle were to beat Man City, or if obviously 5 points if Man City drop points. Whatever the case may be, we need to win tomorrow. But I'm treating the rest of the season like that as well, guys. So you get my point of view. At the end of the day, every game is a must-win game. I know it's really easy to say, but it genuinely is. So this is for the chat as well. Win, lose or draw. What happens this season? In the chat, let us know what you think happens this season. Win, lose or draw, guys. Yeah. We need to know what you think. Before I go into the next part of the show, I'm just going to go into the chat quickly, guys, because we've got Hente in. Good afternoon, Hente. We've missed you for a couple of watch-alongs. Hope you're good. Hope you haven't been ill or anything. Hope you're well. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Okay, that's an early prediction. We'll take it. But same as always, the team has been challenged about their mentality, and there's no better place to answer those doubts than Spurs away. He's absolutely right. I absolutely agree with him on that. What do you guys think, just quickly?
Well, supposedly they had a meeting yesterday, Thursday, and Declan Rice said it was like a come to Jesus meeting, and so hopefully that was the impetus for getting back on track.
Yeah. What your thoughts on it, Rich? Quick.
Yeah, I mean, it would, because derby games are always high intensity and can be frantic. So to go to Spurs, come away with a win, and it'll quieten the noise for a little bit, and it'll quieten internal nerves if there are any.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's cool. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, so if you're lurking and you want to join the chat and you enjoy the chaos, please subscribe to In the North Bank and come and join the chat like Hente gives his opinions, does it all the time. Come and do that and we'll talk about it. This is a channel where you can speak openly. You don't have to be, for example, if you're an Arteta out, let us know you're an Arteta out, and we'll talk about it. If you're an Arteta in, I'm just using it as an example, and we'll talk about it. But anyway, we're going to move on now to. It's going to be a right tactical battle. Richard, because you like the tactics, I'm going to come to you first with the first question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Where can Arsenal hurt Spurs tomorrow, mate, in your opinion?
There's two areas. Spurs, we press Spurs high and with the right intensity. They're prone to mistakes at the back, and so quick turnovers, quick transitions from those turnovers, and we can hurt them. Also, set pieces. They are damn awful at set pieces, and or have been up to this point in the season. So it's another area of weakness. And without Romero, their captain, out on suspension, it's what we'll choose to go with in that defensive line. What are his options?
Yeah, that's cool, mate. I get you on that. What's your thoughts on that one, Brian? So basically, the question again: where can Arsenal hurt Spurs in your opinion tomorrow, mate?
I think, we need to get the ball. We need to get the ball to Gyökeres more. Like Richard was saying.
I agree on that.
Romero, he's out, I think, and Richard, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Van de Ven is out as well, and they're two really tall, really, really strong center halves, and we need to be able to exploit that. I think we also need to play faster. I don't want to see this, horseshoe around the 18. If we're going to go in there, we need to go in, punch him in the mouth again, and then get out of there. So yeah, short answer, we need to play faster, and we need to get Gyökeres more involved. So tell Saka that.
No, that's cool. And just to add to what you're saying, Brian, just to add a little bit more onto that, we need to get it done quickly as well. Don't be doing this 45 minutes trying to work the team out. Get it up there, get it in the goal, get it won. Get it won by half time if you want. We don't mind. Do you know what I mean? Chat. Yeah. Let me know in the chat. Where do you think Arsenal can hurt Spurs tomorrow? Let me know in the chat. Hente, come on, give us your thoughts, mate. We know you're there, so give us your thoughts. I don't know where everybody else is, but I'm sure they'll bounce in at some point. Here we go. Right, second question. I'm going to come to you first, Brian. Where can Spurs hurt Arsenal tomorrow?
Oof, that's a tough one. That's a tough one because they're basically playing with a second 11. We were talking about it last week. They've got more injuries than your local emergency department.
Yeah.
So maybe Xavi Simons.
You still there, mate? Oh no, we've lost Brian for a second. Look, I'll put the same question to you, Richard, unless Brian. I'm sure Brian will try and come back. Where can Spurs hurt Arsenal, mate?
Well, very similar to the way I said we could hurt them. Tudor likes high intensity, high pressing teams, and we saw against Wolves if we're pressed and we're not, our passing goes astray. That build up of cumulative mistakes can put pressure on us. So I'd be looking at those when they press high and try and win the ball back high as an area where they may hurt us and quick transitions. But I'm hoping that's going to be and for Brian's thing, yes, he is still still out, Van der Ven. He was out for 4 to 6 weeks.
We lost you there for a second, Richard. It's all right.
That was Pedro Porro.
Yeah, I was gonna say everybody for Spurs is out. I'm sorry for having to drop off there for a second.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah, like I was saying, I really don't know where they can hurt us, and I mean that's why they're 16th, 17th, whatever the hell it is in the table right now. Like that's why they're down there.
Yeah, but we thought we were going to get, for example, we thought we were going to get 3 points against Wolverhampton, but Wolves, but we didn't. You know, I mean, it's a total guessing game, isn't it? To be honest,
yeah.
You know,
I mean, yeah, but I think it's two different types of things, right? I think that with Spurs, they're starting to get dragged down into a relegation battle. And so they're playing for that. At this point, the bag of smashed assholes, they know they're going down.
Yeah.
And, they're basically playing for pride at this point. And it's different. Like, it's really, really different playing for pride and trying to knock somebody off, whereas trying to play to not get relegated. Because if you're playing to not get relegated, then you're nervous, you're tight, you're gonna basically try not to screw up. Whereas if you're playing for pride, you're like, hey, fuck it, let's go out and try some shit, and that's I feel that's the way that Wolves came out in the second half. They were pressing because they had no impetus not to, Yeah,
of course, I get that. So, Hente's got a question in a minute, but I'm just going to finish this section. One key duel decides the game. What do you think on that, Brian? Is it down to one key duel, or is it down to a factor of many things, do you think?
I mean, I think it's down to a factor of many things because, like I said before, Spurs doesn't have anybody from their starting 11. If they had Kulusevski, I would say Kulusevski versus Calafiori. But they don't. They don't. And so, I'm certainly not trying to underestimate them.
Yeah.
But I don't see where a single point of failure could be between us and them.
Okay, that's cool. Same question to you, Richard. What's your thoughts on it? Is it down to one key duel, or is it a factor of a few things, or many things, or whatever?
I think midfield is key, and then how we deal with whatever attackers they have on the pitch. It's what. Will Saliba and Gabriel be at the top of their game, or and those are at both ends of the pitch? To be honest, it's defensively and offensively. Will they be at the top of the game? Because I think that is where we can get some joy as well.
Spurs are offensive, all right.
Right, so I've got one more question before I go back into the chat, just quickly.
Man, that was a good joke. How are y'all not going to laugh at that?
Because I'm on a time scale and I'm trying to be professional. No, I'm joking, bro. I'm joking. No, it was good. It was a good joke. Yeah. I will go into the chat in a minute, guys. Just 1 second. You got to remember as well, guys, in the chat, review shows are done slightly different to the watch along. Usually I just slap the message up and we read it, whatever else. But there's a bit of a structure here today, so I will get to your comments, I promise. But the next big question, I'm going to come to you first, Rich. If Arteta gets this wrong, we're in trouble. Is that right?
Yes. I mean, that's the simple answer. I'm more looking at we've had a few draws lately. Has he got the team psychologist involved? Because I don't think there's necessarily a weak mentality, but a team with a winning mentality, a champion's mentality, deals with these blips and issues differently, and goes into games with a different mindset. So yeah, I think he's got to get the balance of team structure, chastising, picking the team up, and how he goes about that. So he's got to get that all right. It's not just team selection. It's how do you castigate them for the for poor performance, or do you put your arm around them and say, look, we know it's not acceptable. You know you can do better, and give them a bit of love. It's knowing which way to go, isn't it?
Yeah, and only Arteta will know that as well. Brian, your thoughts on that one, mate? If Arteta gets it wrong, are we in trouble?
No, we're not in trouble. Like, City still needs to win. City still needs to win 2 games, and for us to lose 2 games, for them to overhaul us. I mean, we're what, 5 points ahead right now? Yeah. So they need six more points than we get to get ahead of us. And I think this whole idea of, you know, being in trouble over 1 game, like that's very reactionary. It's very much indicative of, and Richard, I'm not meaning to shit on you here because you know, we're cool. But yeah. I feel like a lot of people in our fan base, you know, are very Chicken Little, sky is falling over like 1 slip up. It's 38 games in the season. Yeah. And so, you know, you're not going to get everything right. Not even like the Invincibles. We had, you know, 12 draws during that season. Yeah. Nobody's going to get it right 100% of the time. No. Now, if we do go on, you know, a losing streak, then okay, we can ask some questions. But as of right this second, no, I don't think we are. I don't think we should be in trouble.
For the record as well, even though we've drawn 2 games, we still haven't lost. So yeah, and the fan base are flip flops. So a lot of the fan base are flip flops and get angry too quick. Just take a breath, think about what's going on. And it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean?
It's like nobody hates Arsenal fans more than other Arsenal fans.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is as well, what you got to remember is, I mean, I speak for myself, but I know Richard probably feels the same, and you do as well. I don't just support Arsenal. Arsenal for me was a life choice. Do you get what I mean, Brian?
Yeah, and I would almost say, you know, me more than anybody else, because, you know, I didn't grow up around football fans. You know, I grew up around American football fans.
Of course.
You know, I chose the Arsenal. You know, my family, my friends, whatever, they didn't choose it for me. You know?
Yeah. No, I get you. So to me, it's a life choice, and I stick by Arsenal with Arsenal through thick and thin, mate. I've been through the bad years. I've been through the good years. I've been lucky enough to be around, and Richard is the same. Lucky enough to be around when the Invincibles. Lucky enough to be around when we won in '89. I mean, I know I don't hang off those. Don't get me wrong. I'm just using those as examples. Do you know what I mean? But I'm going to go quickly into the chat. Hente asked a very good question. Would you start Saka in the middle again? I actually would. I think he plays all right there. The player I thought played out of position against Wolves the other night was Declan Rice. So I didn't like where Declan Rice was playing the other night. So hopefully that will change tomorrow. But anyway, that's just me being quick about that. Emerson, hello guys. So basically, afternoon, Richard and Brian and myself. Thank you, Emerson. Thanks for being here. He's gone for a 1-1 draw with an own goal. No, Des. I'm assuming that's to the Arteta question. I'd love to share Brian's optimism. Just share it. Feel it. Hente, feel it. Take it in. Feel it. Absorb it. You know what I mean? Anyway, we've got to move on. But before we do, if we've given you food for thought today, guys, in this show, right, and what we're talking about, give us a like, please. Hit that bell notification. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe. and help the channel out, because you'd really be helping us. We appreciate it. Honestly, we do. Right, we're on to the next section, which Richard has called Derby Villains and Heroes, just to give you a subheading, right? Guys in the chat, you can answer these questions as well. Answer these questions along with these guys, but just do it in the chat, obviously. Okay, so one Arsenal player, right, from both of you, who must, and I mean must 100% turn up tomorrow. Start with you, Rich.
Well, I'm going whoever plays on that in that right 8 position, whether that be Odegaard, Saka, or Eza. It's one of those. Whoever plays in that position has to turn up and have a big influence on the game.
I get where you're coming from with that. Brian, same question to you, mate. One Arsenal player that must 100% turn up tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna 100% agree on that. At first I was thinking, Gyökeres needs to show up, or then whoever's on the right wing needs to show up. One of the forward line needs to show up. But games aren't won in the front 3. Games aren't even won in the back 4. Games are won in the midfield. And if your midfield shows up, then you're going to do okay. And, like we've said before, Gyökeres thrives off service. And if he's not getting the service, that's not his fault, So, Short answer, yes. Whoever's playing the right 8, they need to show up.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's answered that one. Okay. Chat, let us know what you think. The player that needs to turn up 100% tomorrow, put it in the chat, please. Thank you. Okay, obviously we have to flip the coin, guys. One Spurs player, put my teeth back in, sorry. One Spurs player you're worried about tomorrow. Is there one? I'll come to you first, Brian.
I mean, I don't even remember who the hell is playing for Spurs right now. I'm not going to lie. The only person that I can even think of offhand to be afraid of is Xavi Simons, and mainly that's because we didn't have that great a day defensively the other night. And I want to put out my typical David Raya hate, because he should have 100% called that ball in the area. We want to talk all the time about him saying, oh, he's great with crosses and he commands the area. No, he fucking doesn't. We saw that. But now that I'm off that rant.
Can someone get Brian a drink? He needs to calm down a little bit.
Right? It's 11 o'clock over here, so it's not that early. But no, I think I think whoever Spurs attackers, that's who I would be worried about, given that our defense kind of threw up a stinker the other night.
Yeah, I get you. So same question to you, Rich. Who worries you the most on the Spurs team?
Probably two of their midfielders. I'm looking at. I don't know if he'll go with a double pivot or not, but João Palhinha and Yves Zuma. Palhinha normally has when he was at Fulham, he used to have a good game against us. And he'd probably be.
Sorry, Rich, go ahead.
Yeah, he'd probably be the one that would concern me in terms of controlling that midfield area.
Okay, fair enough. What were you going to say, Brian? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, when you're talking about a threat, like I guess it kind of goes back to what we think would be an okay result for tomorrow versus like all this stuff, So, and I completely forgot about Palhinha and Basuma. But are you worried about them controlling the midfield for being attacking threats, or are you worried about them controlling the midfield and not allowing us to attack? Because that's two different things, and the player profiles to do that sort of stuff are two different things.
Yeah, I think it's with Palhinha, he will stop us. in an attacking sense, and if we give anything away from around the edge of a box, he has a free kick in him.
Yeah. Well,
that would be really where my concerns would lay, if I have any.
My concern, right, is their goalkeeper. And let me explain why. And you're going to think I'm a bit crazy, right? And I know he's not a good keeper. But let's just say, hypothetically, right, he pulls out the best saves of his life. Yeah, keeps Tottenham in the game. That's what I'm worried about. If we have like 30 shots on goal and we don't score, that's what would concern me. And because I want to be a bit different to you two as well, because you've already covered certain parts of the pitch. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I'm going for the goalkeeper and hoping that he doesn't pull out some life-saving saves. Do you know what I mean?
Just get Ben White out there to fuck with his gloves again.
Yeah, okay. okay. Right, I'm going to just quickly go in the chat. No, I've got one more question. Then I'm going in the chat. I do apologise. I've got one more question. Who's the villain waiting to happen tomorrow, guys? And in the chat as well, let me know. And I will get into the chat with your answers in a second, I promise you. Right, a villain waiting to happen tomorrow. Now, I'm going to start this one because I just want to say one thing quickly. The villain I thought that might happen tomorrow isn't even on the pitch, right? He's got a 4-game ban. Their captain. I thought he might be a villain. So I've got to choose another one. And I'm going to say the Brazilian lad, striker. I've forgotten his name.
Richarlison.
Is he injured?
That's it.
I thought he was injured.
He may be, but I don't know when he's due back.
If he's playing, he could be a villain because he goes to ground so easy. I mean, I've got cerebral palsy and I fall over 10 times a day and he goes to ground easier than me. So that's telling you something. Do you know what I mean? But Brian, who's your villain of the game? If there is going to be one.
Yeah, not to steal your thunder, but if Richarlison is playing tomorrow, it's going to be him, and I cannot stand that dude.
Same here.
Like that. I don't know. I've got a really inappropriate metaphor I was going to use, so I'm not going to use it. But you're right. You sneeze on him, he goes down. He's really good at winding people up. Like I remember a couple years ago, Tomiyasu was taking a throw in or something, and Richarlison was warming up on the right side down there, and he kept getting in the way of whoever was taking the throw in, and that's just the kind of shit that he does.
He tries the dark arts, doesn't he? He tries the dark arts. Yeah,
and because of that, he might be able to get us out of our heads and kind of bury one that they don't deserve.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's genuinely what I thought. Richard,
I'm going to say I'm going for Peter Banks because again, Peter Banks, who's refereeing.
My man.
The referee, fair enough, right? Cool.
Yeah, and for exactly the same reason Brian's there, Richarlison theatrics rolling around in the penalty, and Banks giving a penalty. Now, we've got a reasonable record with him in charge, but our away record with him in charge is diabolical. Of four away games he's been in charge of us, we've drawn 1 and lost 3.
Yeah, I get you. So
we've won all home games with him in charge. So it's that would.
Go on.
Well, I want to change my answer real quick. I want to change my ansor because I thought we were looking at players. And
I thought we were as well. That's why I went, ooh.
So, no, my villain of tomorrow, and it's already guaranteed, Thomas the Frank Engine.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be able to use his nickname, and Tottenham were sucking ass underneath him, So, now that they got a new manager and, he decided to go off to like whatever train shed it is that they all go into, he's not going to be there. And so I think he's going to be the villain of the day tomorrow.
Fair enough, mate. I'll let you have that one. Okay, guys, in the chat, who are you most terrified of in the Tottenham side? Let us know in the chat, will you? Right, I'm just going to quickly go into the chat again, mate, before we go on to the next bit. So we've got Emerson says, hero will be Gabriel M, and Eze or Odegaard to stand up, and Simmons or VDV. Yeah, Van der Ven. Good shout. Hente's putting some very long answers in today. I quite like it, actually. I'm old school, and I think the defence has to show up. Let's then say Gabriel, okay, as I'm the one who thinks the games are won by attacking, but championships by defending. Fair enough, mate. Emerson agrees with me for the villain. Vicario, thank you. It makes more sense me saying it now. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Hente, thank you guys for being here, by the way, as well. Thank you for your input and everything. Just to have different opinion, I'm going to say Vicario is the villain. Hey, I've got 2 for Vicario. I'm winning, lads. I'm winning. And yeah, he's happy that you're agreeing with him, Emerson. Hente is right. Okay, so we have to go on to the next bit, guys. This has been a great show so far. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the structure that we're doing it. We're trying to do it more question based, where you can answer, and obviously the lads on the show are giving their answers. Okay, so we are now looking at I don't know. We're looking at a possible meltdown if we lose here. I think I'm looking at here, guys. So if we lose this, right, who gets the blame? Is it the players? Is it the manager? Is it the fans? I'm going to chuck that in there as well, because I think we all have a responsibility to the club, or everyone I've mentioned anyway. So who'd like to take this one first? Richard, I'm going to go with you on this one first, mate. Who do we blame? Is it the manager, the players, or the club, mate?
I think you have to look at players and manager in combination. It's never one or the other. It's usually both, because has Arteta got the lineup right, and then do the players, once they're out, step over that line? Do they perform as they've been instructed to, and as they've done in training all week? And that's it. So it's a mixture of both the players and Arteta. I don't think it's just Arteta or just the players. That's for me anyway.
Okay, is that where you're leaving that one? Can I move on to Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, I didn't know if you'd finished or not, mate. That was all. Brian, who do you blame? Manager, player, or fans? Who do you blame?
So I think it's 60-40 players versus managers, because at the end of the day, the players are the ones out there kicking the ball. They're the ones that are out there trying to execute the tactics. If they're executing the tactics perfectly, and the tactics are just shit, then okay, you can have that conversation. But if you're trapping the ball poorly, if you're passing the ball poorly, if you're getting rattled, that's on you. But overarching, I say, I kind of think in the run up to the game, if we play like ass, then I think it's almost on the fans, because we need to get behind the club and we need to do the right thing and support, and we really haven't.
Well said, mate. Well said. Guys, I'm going to go into the chat just quickly, because the lads have made some good points. But if you are learning something, if we're giving you something new to think about today, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, because you really be helping the channel out. Obviously, we would appreciate it as well. Emerson's blaming other podcasts who moan and moan. Nice answer, Emerson. Nice answer. I like that one. And Hente says, you asked the question, and if it has to be one, then it's the manager. Okay, you're entitled to your opinion, Hente. As we say, everybody's got a fair opinion in here. And if you want to expand on that, please do. If you want to, you don't have to, but if you do, if you want to. So basically, that's what I'm going to. You kind of led me. We've segued into the next question. So it's manager, defense, big players. Now we've covered that already, really. But I want to just expand this question a little bit. Okay. Are we guilty as a fan base, right? Forget Arteta for a second, okay? We're just talking players here, guys. Are we guilty as a fan base for blaming one player? And do you think it's a team? We are a team. Richard, what's your thoughts on that one, mate?
Yeah, I mean, it is very rare that one player playing really well or playing really poorly will affect the outcome of a game. It's usually a collective. It'll be two or three players having a poor performance, or two or three players having a great performance that will determine the outcome of a match. So, and it's. But there are players that get scapegoated. We know it. We've seen it from our fan base that they will go in on a certain player because they don't like the way he comes across and the way his demeanour on the pitch. So
yeah.
So yeah, I think we can be too harsh. You've got to criticise bad performances, but you've got to do that in a balanced and fair way. You can't just slate.
Yeah, no. I get you. It's just trying to work out where people's thought processes are. Do you know what I mean? As fans, as people in the chat, as other podcasters that seem to lose their head over the slightest thing, if you know what I mean. Brian, same question to you, mate.
Yeah, I think we do get too focused on blaming one player, and I think that we get too focused on blaming the same players. Like, everybody wants to shit on Jokers. Everybody wants to shit on Glock 14 because he hadn't been banging them in for fun here in the Premier League and the Champions League.
Yeah.
But we all know the history of him, coming over and not having the preseason and everything like that. But I'm going to go back to the thing that I've always been harping on for about the last month or something like that, where nobody knows how to get him the ball.
You've said the same thing every watch along, haven't we?
Like you can't. It doesn't matter what position you're talking about. You can't just judge a player's performance based on goals and assists or something like that. Yeah. Same thing with judging a goalkeeper on clean sheets, but we're not going to go there. If you look, you have to look at the player completely, and that's why people, I don't want to say they're not as they're not as well versed in watching football as we may be, but they get focused on a lot of the wrong things and don't understand that it's a team thing, And so, short answer, yes, we do. The fan base does focus on shitting too much on one player, and a lot of times it's the same player for the wrong reason.
Yeah, I get you. No, I totally get you. Yeah.
And
so
I also,
Rich, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I just also want to add that sometimes there is a lot of results-based analysis. So a draw or a loss will bring a negative analysis, even if the performance was there, but the result wasn't.
Yeah, I get you. I understand where you're coming from with that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So are fans too soft, or when it comes to derby performances, Richard?
Actually, I think they're softer when it's not a derby game. I think they're more lenient because we all know that the players will be up for the game tomorrow because it's a derby, and we know they will be up for a game against Manchester City, Liverpool, the big teams. It's just the ones that we're probably softer on are the ones where you should get a result, and but don't get a result and performance.
Right. Exactly.
And they go a bit softer there.
Your thoughts on that one, Brian? Are the fans too soft when it comes to derby games, or do you find it's
Well,
do you agree with Richard, or have you got a different look on it, mate?
like how are we defining soft? Are we saying that, like, oh, it's okay, guys, we're gonna support you, blah 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 blah, or are we saying that fans are big babies? Because that's two different things.
Yeah, it is, but it's your choice at the end of the day. I can't say whether we're talking about this or talking about that. It's what you think.
Yeah.
So
it's how you see it.
How you see it, mate. So I don't want to influence that in any way, shape, or form because it's your thoughts, if you know what I mean.
I mean, just scrolling through Twitter and reading everything online that I have, and there goes Richard walking off again.
I know he's doing. Yeah.
No, I do think our fans are too soft. I do think they're too soft because, I'm not going to say we, because, myself, I know you, I know Rich, like, we're very pragmatic. We look at the big picture. We look at the long, at the long term.
Yeah.
But yes, like, there are a lot of soft ass Arsenal fans out there. And, anybody that's watching this, if you're a soft Arsenal fan, DM me and we can meet up. I don't care.
Yeah.
But yes, like we need to be stronger. As a fan base, we need to have not necessarily more faith in our club, that we're going to get results, but we need to support our club. I mean, there are football teams over here, American football teams. There are soccer teams over here that are hot garbage. And yet their fans still come out there and, looking at English football clubs in particular, like, we've been around since 1886. And, like, we are a part of the community. We are a part of people's lives.
Yeah.
And because of that, like, if you're an Arsenal supporter, be an Arsenal supporter.
Yeah.
I know that was.
It's not complicated. It's not complicated. It really isn't.
No.
Yeah. The only person that complicates it is yourself. That's it. Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
Were you going to say something, Rich? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sort of in agreement on that thing, but we have to look at what the team have done over the whole season, and not this little 5 or 6 game run, but given the length of time that we've gone without a Premier League title, and for some people, for me and you, we've seen 4 league titles. In our lifetime. For some fans, they've not seen the league title, or the last one they saw, the first and only one they saw was the Invincible one. So it's hard to say to them, relax. It will come, because you get they're driven by the banter from rival fans and the media, who are, I think,
it's narrative, isn't it?
Yeah. The media are quite negligible, and they use fan banter to make stories and push that narrative. when it
You know,
really
and I-
it's
and I
just,
won't-
okay. It's not a real thing.
Well, you're kind of segueing into my next part,
Well,
Richard, so that's cool.
hang on.
Go on, Brian.
Well,
Go
hang
ahead.
on, because I want to piggyback on that a little bit.
Well, please
You
do.
know, like, I remember the banter era, just like we all do. You know, when we first came to Emirates, we had no money to buy players. You know, we got lucky finding, a couple diamonds in the rough. But, it was tough. It was tough. And, if we drop enough points and finish second, this season, we've still finished second in the toughest league in the universe 4 years in a row. And yeah, do I want a trophy? 100%. But am I going to base, my belief in the team or the manager or anything like that off getting silverware or not? No. Like, I am enjoying this ride. Like, I am enjoying, seeing everybody's tears, Gary Neville, like all of that. Like I want everybody to just enjoy this because it may not happen again.
Can I just throw something in what you've just said as well, Brian? Right, and what a lot of people are forgetting, and I'm going to jump into the chat in a second, guys. But what a lot of people are forgetting, and I don't mean people sat here or in this chat or anybody listening. I'm just speaking general. Yeah, we're still going for a quad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that, guys.
We're basically playing almost 3 games a week. Yeah, there's going to be burnout. We're getting to the end. We're getting to the nitty-gritty part of the season as well, right? There's going to be burnout by players. There's going to be injuries. We're still going for a quad. Keep positive. Yeah.
So if we win the Community Shield like next season, does that mean we call it a 5-bagger, or does that start next year's 5-bagger?
Yeah, again, that's a narrative thing, isn't it? Again, that's a narrative thing, but the Community Shield isn't really a trophy. Again, that's banter from rival fans and the media use it. But with you on this, Des, you've got to think right up to March 22nd. 2 teams are in for the quad, us and Manchester City.
Yeah, exactly.
Come 6 o'clock on the 22nd of March. Only 1 team will still be on for the quad. Exactly,
mate. Exactly. But I think a lot of our fan base are forgetting that. They're so focused on, we've got to win the Premier League. We've got to do it. They're not focusing on, we're going for the quad. And I'll be honest with you, right? I agree with Brian. Yeah, we have progressed from where we were, right? But if we were to lose the league, which touch wood, I hope we don't, but if we were to lose the league and win the Champions League, I'd be happy with that. Yeah? Because that's a rock off our shoulders as well that we haven't been able to attain for years. And everybody throws at us, you'll never win that. You'll never. In some ways, I want to win the Champions League over the Premier League because I've already done that. Me personally. But I'll take both if we can get both. I'll take the quad if we can get the quad. That's the way I look at it. Right, I'm just going to quickly jump into the chat and then we're on to another section. So here we go. Emerson, top podcasts are always whining match after match and repeat their voices. They do, mate. They do. And it gets boring. It does become tedious. I've got to be honest. I've been at 2 away games lately and our support is just fantastic. No way too soft. Nicely said, Hentai. Appreciate that. Nice comments. And you're talking about online support also. Sorry. No, that's cool, mate. No, you make a fair comment. If you're going to the games and you can hear the support, then, bring it up in the chat. That's fine. That's absolutely fine because you're there. You're feeling it. We've been there. We've felt it. You know what I mean? And feeling it and seeing it is totally different to watching it on the telly. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, guys, don't forget, if you're liking this show, if we're teaching you something new or making you think about things you haven't thought about before, don't forget to give us a like, a share, a subscribe. You'll be helping the channel out. Thank you very much indeed. And don't forget, if you're not watching this live and you're watching it later, get in the comments. Me, Richard and Brian will answer as many comments as we can. Get in there. Do what Emerson did the other day when we did our top 5 Which did we do? Oh, top 5 French players. He got in there and put his top 5. Get in there, guys, and do that for us. And can you believe, Richard? He didn't even have Robert Pires in his top 5. He had Emmanuel Petit.
Wait, who didn't put Pires in their top 5?
Emerson didn't. I'm calling him out. He didn't put Pires in his top 5.
Emerson, I think that's a yellow card for you, dude. That's a yellow card for you.
Now, Emerson, you're entitled to your opinion, mate. I'm only joking, mate. Right, okay. So we're going to go on to this one now. Does winning this game make our season? If we lose, are we walking into danger? Basically, remember, guys, it's one game. But I've got to ask the question because it's part of the show. Does winning this game, Richard, make our season, mate? Oh, we've lost Richard. Brian, are you there? Oh, cool. You're still here. Right, I'll ask you the same question. Hopefully, Richard will be back in a minute. So, does winning this game make or break our season, Brian? Take yourself on mute, bro. There we go.
Hang on, Des. I can't hear you.
All right, can you hear me now? We've got internet issues here, guys. I think. Brian, you there? Hello?
Yeah, I can't hear you at all. Hang on.
Okay. Right, guys, I've lost my guess for a moment. No, I don't think it comes down to one game. It comes down to we have to win every game. Hopefully, Brian and Nat will come back. So someone's got internet somewhere. It might be me, it might be them. I don't know. Hopefully, they'll join me back in. Sorry, guys, it was going so well as well. You all right? The gremlins, the blooming gremlins. Right, Brian's back. Let's see if he can hear me now.
I can hear you now. Let me get you back on my earbuds.
Oh, sweet. Okay, you got me now, right? Yeah.
Okay,
So
there we go.
Right. Hopefully Richard will be back in a minute, yeah. Does this game make our season? Does it make or break our season? I basically said while you were away, no, I don't think it does. Yes, it is and don't get me wrong, it is the North London derby. It's a big one, but we need to win every game now. Your thoughts on that, man?
I mean, I'll go back to what I said before. One game does not make or break a season, right?
Yeah.
It's 38 games on the table. With that being said, we do want to win all our games, and so short answer, no, it doesn't. It does not make or break our season. I think the make or break our season attitude is going to be more from the fans and the pundits than anything. I don't think it's going to matter that much to Arteta and the players. They're still going to keep pushing. They're still going to keep going. Yeah.
Welcome back, Richard. Just to fit in with what I've been saying, basically, does this game make or break our season? And what I basically said, and Brian's basically said the same. No, it doesn't. Don't get me wrong. It's important. It's the North London derby, of course, but we're in a position now where we're being chased and we have to win every game. So what's your thoughts on it, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I sort of agree, but I'm also looking at what sort of does that do to the players on an internal basis, the mentality for them on another game where you drop points. Do they start questioning themselves or Arteta's approaches to these games? It's so not necessarily as a one-off, but a three or four games over the six game period. Will it be a cumulative knock-on effect?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I do. I really do. I'm trying to look at it from all aspects, and the chat definitely is as well, because Hente says, personally, my personal think that it's a make or break. As I said, it's the mentality had been tested, and now it's time to show that the mentality is right. Good comment, Hente, to be honest. Brian, what do you think about that, about the mentality, before we move on? You there, Brian? Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a reasonable take. But yeah, I guess it's reasonable to say that the mentality has been tested, and we just kind of have to follow up on it. But I would also say that these guys are professionals, and they should, they should be able to to focus on the game and focus on executing in that moment. And if they get their heads ahead of themselves and start worrying about what else can happen 200 miles away at another game, then they're not thinking about the right thing.
I get you.
Yeah. I mean, as I've said, I think I said earlier, it's not necessarily a weak mentality, but a team of winners and who have won things on a regular basis would approach this period and game differently. They won't go into the game and as soon as one pass goes astray, there wouldn't be that nerves and things about it. They would get on and move on and just carry on. But this, not many of this team have won big trophies, so until they get over the line, they won't know how to do that.
Okay, I think we can leave that there. Right, now we've come to the good part of the show, guys. It's the nitty gritty, the predicted 11. So might be I might surprise you with mine. We'll see. Okay, who wants to go first, or shall I go? I'll tell you what. I'll go first. We'll do it as defense, midfield, attack. Okay, guys, give us your predicted 11s in the chat as well. But here's my back five. Right, basically, I'm going to go Kepa in goal. Reason being, I think Raya made a massive mistake against Wolves. Easy to blame Gabriel, but I think, like Brian said, he should have shouted. That's on Kepa. Not on Kepa, on Raya, sorry. But Kepa in goal. Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Hencape on my back four. What's your defence, Richard?
Raya in goal, he's our number one keeper. Don't change that. White as my right back. Saliba, Gabriel, and Calafiori.
Okay, Brian, your defence?
So I like the idea of Kepa going back there because we know my feelings on Raya, but I think that Arteta is very, very wed to his lineups, and Kepa's his cup goalkeeper. So I think it's going to be Raya, and then left to right, I think it's going to be Hincapié, Saliba, Gabriel, and I personally would go with Ben White on the right side. I think his link-up play is just a little bit better. Timber's good making his own runs. Ben White's better on the link-up play.
Yeah, I get you. Okay, so midfield, right? Okay, I'll go first. Who do I want in midfield? Declan Rice, Zubimendi, Odegaard. For me, Richard.
I'm going. Oh, see, there's part of me that would like to see Norgard in this, and it would be if I was doing that, it would be Norgard, Rice, and Odegaard. Norgard. And that's how I'd go it. That's how I would.
Okay. Brian, midfield, mate.
I'd go. Like I like the idea of Norgard at the 6, but he's more of a big guy, You know, he's not gonna dictate play the way that Zubamendi does, and I think that, you know, Zubamendi has been, you know, the sleeper signing of the year for us.
Most definitely.
But I mean, definitely Rice at the left 8. No, you know what? I would switch up the lineup. I would switch up the lineup or switch up the formation, because everybody likes how Saka played on the inside, right?
Yeah.
And we want to get Madueke on the wing because he's been playing well. So instead of a 4-3-3 with a single pivot, you play a 4-2-3-1 with a double pivot. You put Rice and Zubamendi at the base, or Rice and Norgard. Then you put Saka at the 10, Madueke out on the right. That's not going to happen, but that's the way I would do it.
Right. Okay. Thanks for that, and thanks for jumping. Right. Okay. Up front, I want Gyökeres up front. Martinelli. Do I start with Saka or do I start with Madueke? I think I start with Madueke, actually. So that's what I'm going. Madueke, Gyökeres, Martinelli. Richard?
Me, Madueke, because when we played them at home, Madueke had his full back on toast. I'm going Trossard, because Trossard is a little bit cleverer with a ball at his feet. He might not beat his man, but he will come inside. He will cause different problems. And then Gyökeres up front for me, big target man, cause whatever defence centre backs they've got issues.
Fair enough. Brian, you've said your front three, but will you say it again, please?
So left to right, I'd go Trossard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to switch it up on this one. I would go Jesus right off the bat.
Right, I'm not talking to you anymore.
No, hear me out.
No, it's cool. I understand.
They're going to go into a low block, right? And you need somebody who's going to be able to dribble them out of position. And in a low block, Gyökeres isn't going to have the space to run in behind and make the runs that he likes to do. Yes, that is exactly how a low block works. I saw that look. But I would go. I'd go.
I know you know how. I know you know how a low block works, mate. It's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. Don't worry.
I mean, my only caveat would be that if Havertz was fit and available for the game, I would have started Havertz. That would be my own.
Yeah, I will agree. I definitely agree with that. If Havertz was fit, yes. Sorry, Gyökeres. As much as I want you to bang him in the back of the net, I would have started against Spurs. I would have started with Havertz. Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I mean, like going across the front, Trossard on the left, Jesus at the 9, and then Madueke on the right.
Right. So I've got to jump into the chat one more time. But if you're enjoying the build-up that we've done here today for the Spurs Arsenal game tomorrow, obviously we're going to be doing a watch along. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell, come and join us, because we have a great time doing it. Hopefully Brian will be there, Richard will be there, I'll be there, and maybe a couple of others. So we'll see how that goes. But we're here for real Arsenal fans, and to be honest, that's what we do the watch alongs for. It's not for our benefit, it's for the fans' benefit. And these are the people in the chat that join us in the chat. If you're part of it in the North Back community, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And whenever you're watching this, leave your comments. But yeah, just going to jump into the chat one more time, and then we're nearly to the end of this one. It's been a great show, by the way, guys. Have I already read that one? Yeah, I have. Right, so it's Hente's next one that I've got to put up. Here we go. So Hente says, I also personally don't like the narrative of 12 cup finals left in the league, as that's too much of finals for any team. I agree. Emerson's left out Saliba, but he meant to put him in. but he's gone for Raya, Henkape, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Zubamendi, Rice, Eze, Martinelli, Gyökeres, and Saka. That's his lineup. Oh, Retro, thank you for joining us. You should have got here earlier. You would have answered loads of the questions, mate. You still can. You still can if you want to.
Let me jump in on Hinte's question.
Yeah,
Quick.
which one? Which one, mate?
Or when
the cup finals.
I apologize.
Do you mean the cup final one?
I don't think it's 12 cup finals for us. I think it's 12 cup finals for our opposition.
Right. Okay. Remember, they've still got this court thing hanging over them as well. There's another one cropped up as well now, isn't there? But anyway, I'm going to go back to Retro. Retro, thank you for joining us, mate. We've asked loads of questions today that you would have loved to answer. So go back and watch this and give us your comments if you want to, if you've got the time. He's gone Kepa, Ben White, Gabriel, Saliba, Henkape, Norgard, Rice, and Zubamendi. With Cali, Gyökeres, and Saka up front. Okay, cool. That's cool. No Odegaard for me from Hente. Fair enough. You're barred from the show. No, I'm only joking. He's just letting us know that he forgot Saliba. There we go. Okay, no problem. So, Des, you're leaving out the New Deal man out of our starting lineup. The New Deal man.
Saka.
Talking about Saka.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because I don't think you're getting 90 minutes out of him anyway at the moment. And yeah, I think Madueke's earned it, to be quite honest. That's my answer to that question. Before we go, I've got to ask, what's your guys' thoughts on this Tudor lad? Because the Tottenham manager, because I've never heard of him.
So if I recall correctly, he was with Juve for a while and didn't do anything, and then they brought in whoever the hell it was. I don't follow Serie A as much as I could, I guess. I think he plays more defensively than anything. So I don't know how good he is. I don't know how good he isn't. I don't know how well his strategy is going to translate to the Premier League. You know, he's no Antonio Conte. You know.
Yeah. Well, I've done quite a bit of digging and watching. He's more of like a 4-3-2-1, high pressing, high intensity. His win percentage isn't very good. He has an initial impact, but after time that wears off. So
what a baptism of fire, though, Rich.
Oh yeah,
London Derby, your first game.
Well, it's a baptism of fire as well, because he's coming into a team that are, for all intents and purposes, going to be in a relegation battle.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't know what the Forest result today, but if Forest have got to get a result over the weekend before Spurs play, they will be right on top of that relegation zone. Right,
fair enough. Richard, Trossard may not play due to his concussion protocol.
Yes, I did. There is a chance, but that was one. But my choice is based off that he passes the protocol. He's passed the protocols and will be past fit to play. But
right, okay. Des, as a record, all the teams he has managed, they have won the manager Igor Tudor. Okay, fair enough. We're getting to the end of this one, guys, just to let you know. And Retroholics come back with one. Don't think we win the league regardless. Some of the stuff these players say is stupid. Rice saying drawing and playing not to lose is not title winning mentality. Again, it's a lot of people talking about the mentality today. For me, we need a new manager inside that. No, we don't need a new manager, mate. I'm going to respectfully disagree with you on that one. Guys, do you want to come back on that one?
And I'm gonna piggyback on that. Trying not to lose away was good enough for Fergie.
Yeah.
The question of a manager depends on what happens in this season. If you go from being in the quad to picking up no trophies, I think there's every right to question whether Arteta should stay on. But that doesn't mean he should go. It means there should be a debate on whether he gets another season to win something. If he wins two or three trophies out of a quad, I think again it depends on what those trophies are, what that debate then looks like. So, but it's not a straight. He has to go right now.
Fair comment, Richard. Right, guys, we have come to the end of this one. So I want to thank my
we just got the score predictions, haven't we?
Oh, have I missed that? Oh, what a crap host I am. Sorry. Score predictions, please. Yes, sorry. Go, Richard. Go ahead.
For me, I've gone 3-1 to us.
Okay. Brian, score prediction, mate.
Unfortunately, I'm going to go with a 1-1. I'm going to go with a 1-1.
Oh, God. Where's the positivity?
That's fair enough.
Where's the positivity? No. It's good. I'm going to go 2-0. Emerson's gone 1-1. Guys, get your predictions in the chat quickly if you can, please, because I am going to close this one down now because we have kind of come to the end. So you've got basically 2 minutes to get your scores in. 1-1 for Emerson. Where's the positivity, Emerson? Come on. You know me. Yeah, you gave it at the beginning of the show, Hente. It's 1-0 to the Arsenal. Yep. Right. Before I do end this one, obviously I've got to thank my guests. Been a great show, guys. Thank you very much for being on. Richard, thank you as always. Everything you do, mate.
Always a pleasure, mate.
Yeah. And Brian joining us all the way from across the pond while you were out on the dog walk. I don't know what you're doing now, but at the beginning you were dog walking. So thanks for being on, mate.
No, of course.
He's got
I'm
a camera.
really glad
He could be
to,
doing anything he likes.
Yeah, got his camera. He could be doing
basically.
anything. He could be doing anything he likes. Okay,
No, thanks for having me on, dude. I appreciate it.
Oh, mate, anytime. You're welcome anytime. You know that. And Retro's gone for 3-1. Fair play, Retro. Retro, just to let you know, it doesn't mean your comment was wrong. It just means that we don't agree with you. That's all. Only joking.
And it could be that we're wrong.
It could be. It could be. This was great fun. Thank you, Hente. Thank you for being part of it, mate. Thank you for being part of it. And Emerson just says, always a draw, North London derbies. Oh, Emerson. I expect better of you. Right, guys. As I say, the guys have been amazing. Thank you for their time. Thank you for their effort. I've got one more thing I need to do before we go. Right, here we go. Let's have a look at this. No matter what happens, I'm live for the watch along. Sorry, we're live for the watch along and post-match meltdown. If you want to watch this derby, don't want to watch this derby alone, subscribe now to In the North Bank for the pain and the joy. And believe me, there is pain and there is joy. Believe it. Guys, again, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Everybody in the chat, thank you for everything you've done in the chat today. Your questions, your comments, been absolutely brilliant, been absolutely top-notch. I'm going to end with this one just here. I know I just don't like Arteta. Sorry, I come across as that. No, you don't. Not at all. No, not at all. You're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, mate. Don't ever think, mate, Retro, you can say whatever you want in this channel, mate. It's just we're not always going to agree. We're not always going to agree with you, mate. That's all. You can say whatever you like. In fact, you might enlighten us to something that we've never even thought about. But as I say, guys, thank you very much for your time today. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. Of course, thank you to these two amazing fellas. I can't wait till we do the next one. And don't forget, we have got the watch along tomorrow. I believe the show kicks off at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, yeah, for pre-show. Join us there, guys, where it'll be a lot more fun. And on 3, guys. Brian, take yourself off mute for a second. 1, 2, 3. Come on, you Gunners.
Come on, you Gunners.
Peace. We're out of here.